Thank you all for being here. I see all of you are on time. Praise the Lord. And let me put on my camera. Yes. Can you all see me clearly? Okay, well, at least I can see myself clearly. Okay. Okay, let me see. Suzanne is here, Maria is here, Danielle is here, Chuba is here, hey Chuba, Ruth is here, Dion is here. If the rest can show themselves also in live chat, it would be very great. Well, I'm about to cook now, so I thought, you know what? I can delay cooking and do the live stream first, but you know what? I can cook while I'm doing the live stream. Not a problem at all. So let me put this on, and then I'll just start with ingredients. There's some beef over here also. There you have basmati rice. So this is the rice cooker. It's a tiny rice cooker I have. I've been having it for years, so it's still working perfectly fine. So, okay. Okay, everyone can see me clearly, hear me clearly, that's good. This live stream is about the vagabond spirits, okay? Now, I've discussed various types of evil spirits before. Rape spirits, fear spirits, spirits of violence or spirits of tragedy, lying spirits, familiar spirits. I also discussed the type of seducing spirits to you. And this type of spirit I'm going to talk about today. Thank you, June, for your compliment. Christopher's here also. The type of evil spirit I'm about to discuss today is a vagabond spirit. Now, first of all, who does not know what a vagabond is? Because vagabond is kind of British English. So, do you know what I mean with the vagabond? With vagabond, if you just let me know very quickly. If you don't know what the term vagabond is, I'll use an alternative term for you. Let me know in the live chat. Do you know what a vagabond is? All right. Meanwhile, I'm going to cut the. Let me put the rice first. Meanwhile, you can answer. Yes. Christopher is saying it correctly. It's a wanderer, an outcast. Yes. Okay. Good. Just to clarify, a vagabond is someone that can't be at peace in their own dwelling place. So they have to wander around. They're like a homeless individual without actually being necessarily homeless. A homeless individual, someone who has no place to stay. A vagabond can have a place to stay, but they just can't remain at peace in their own dwelling place. Now, there are vagabonds who indeed are homeless, but you don't have to exactly be homeless to be a vagabond. Okay? A vagabond can also be someone that's chased away by the community. They're haunted by rejection. Okay? Now, a vagabond, we know what it is. It's similar to a homeless individual. But it's similar, not the same, but similar. Now, the vagabond spirit. What is a vagabond demon? A vagabond demon is a demon that's restless. Now, you may say, Rashid, all demons are restless because they're homeless entities or cast out of heaven. Okay, you got me there. But a vagabond spirit is very specific. Like a vagabond spirit cannot stand human beings be at ease. The vagabond spirit has a deep allergy to human ease. The vagabond demon doesn't want any human being to have any ease anywhere. So the vagabond spirit is out there to make sure that you are restless, that you're always striving, that you're always on the outlook. That's a vagabond spirit. Now, vagabond spirits need to be kept in check, because if they would go around like crazy, causing homelessness or causing unrest all the time, then the human species will awaken much quicker. So demons would want that. So vagabond spirits are a type of unstable demons and need to be kept in check regularly. But about vagabond spirits or homelessness demons, you also call them, they are the type of demons that invite themselves to your life. If you don't invite them in your life, they appear. They invite themselves. And they invite themselves with assistance of other evil spirits. So a vagabond spirit will never come to you by its own. He will always hide behind other types evil operations. Let's say that you have some type of unprocessed trauma from your youth relating to how your parents raised you emotionally. Now the vagabond spirit will be in line, waiting for his turn to come in. You may have demons of fear or demons of violence operating, and then the spirit of vagabond is begging them, please, let me get in right now. And then sometimes it happens that the other demons say, okay, you can have your turn. Now, all demons are homeless, that's true. But what makes the vagabond spirit so specific is that the vagabond spirit, he hides behind other demons, and once he comes in, slowly but slowly, you end up just like he is. Because they are all men, those vagabond spirits. Okay? So what I'm teaching now in this lesson is you need to unlearn inviting vagabond spirits into your life. The image on your sheet. How do people invite vagabond spirits in their lives? Even bad people want to be taken care of and want stability at some point, or they want things to work out for them. Now, actual stability, some people don't want it, but everyone wants things to work out for them. So you say, who in the right mind would invite a vagabond spirit? Well, that's the thing. You don't invite the vagabond spirits, they invite themselves. But if you are not aware, you'll be giving symbolic consent for the vagabond spirit to operate in your life, and it's also in your affairs. Okay? So, and by the way, vagabond spirits are not disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. They're fallen angels. So, Christopher, you're not correct over there. A vagabond spirit is a fallen angel. Okay? Disembodied spirits are different type. They are different breeds. I will talk about them in another life. Now, what the first thing a vagabond spirit does when he enters your life is that he brings a type of ease with him. Now, the vagabond demon, he doesn't want you to be in any ease, but in order to trick you, he will cause some type of ease in your life. Let's say now that you have difficulty paying bills. When the vagabond spirit comes, the vagabond spirit suddenly causes your boss to give you an increase on your wage. Okay? So suddenly at work, you get a pay raise out of the blue. And the pay raise? Now, in order to hide it, the demon has to cause others get the pay raise too, because if only you get the pay raise, it may cause some social troubles. You get me? But the demon will cause a pay raise for everyone out of the blue. So suddenly you look at your paycheck and you get 200 euros more. And you think, what? We never pleaded for a pay raise. We're completely fine with what we were paid, but hey, you got the pay raise. And because you have a pay raise, now you have more ease financially. So you automatically think, whoa, this is a blessing. Okay, but let's go further. You have a pay raise. Go to the pay raise now, you have more free time. Okay, because not only did you get the pay raise, the boss also, the employer also decided you guys are going to work a bit, a half hour, like an hour less. Because you're working an hour less, now you also have more free time. Just 1 hour, but it means you have more free time. So you have this ease, this double ease. You have a higher, you get paid more and you work an hour less. Doesn't seem very significant, but psychologically, it has a deep effect on you. Now, what happens next? The vagabond demon then begins to suggest through other people, because do it directly to your brain, you may capture something's wrong. If the vagabond spirit begins to send telepathic messages to your brain immediately, you may realize, hold on a minute, it doesn't add up. So the vagabond demon will make use of other people around you to use their mouth, their physical mouth, to speak to you. So what's happening then is that other people suddenly will just come with weird suggestions. For example, you can be calling with your mother-in-law or with your actual mother, and she is saying out of the blue, you know, Jeffrey, today people can lose a job anytime, so beware, work very hard. And you think, what? Why is my mother or mother-in-law saying something like this? Or maybe it's your wife that the demon uses at some point, because your wife is an open door and you're just not aware of. And suddenly your wife suggests onto you that maybe some tragedy may hit them at any point. And later, hold on. Later, when you Ask your wife or your mother or whoever it was that the demon spoke through why they suggested that thing. They can't even remember. They can't even remember. Okay? They can't remember what they said to you. Or maybe you maybe you took longer to finish college, and some individual tells you, well, you took longer to finish college, so you likely won't get a job very soon, or there's some type of tragedy suggested. But it's not really the human being that's saying it, it's the demon using their bodies to speak to you. So you will hear the mouth of a human being speaking to you. So you think it's a human being saying it, but it's the demon taking over the body for a few seconds and speaking to you. Okay? So yeah, so then the demon is doing consultation witchcraft using the body of the other human being. And because it's a human being that's close to you, or a human being that you don't suspect, the demon can get away with it. And because it's someone that's close to you, you think, oh, they mean well. So the demon is hiding behind the good relationships you have with the people. If you are on good terms with someone, and that individual you're on good terms with has an open door, the demon will use that individual to suggest harm on you. And you think that the individual, whether it's your grandma or mother or father or your spouse or one of your children or someone at work, just means well to you. So you don't notice it's a demonic operation behind the scenes. So, hold on, throw this away. What happens then is that you're in your mind, you are tricked into thinking in a negative way, unaware. And this goes on for months. If for months, people around you keep making bad suggestions onto you, without you being aware of it, you begin to expect bad outcomes. Okay, because remember, the mind and the brain are two different things. The brain is the center of your physical body, okay, that you use to operate in the physical body. The mind is a part of you, the energy creature. But both your mind as well as your brain can't distinguish between fact and fiction. Your brain nor your mind can do that. So that means that if someone keeps sowing negative outcomes into your mind, eventually both your mind and your brain will get used to it. And your brain is being programmed for disaster. So now the vagabond spirit is using other people to suggest, to neurologically condition you for disaster. That's what's going on. And then, while the subtle brainwash is going on for maybe 4 months, 6 months, actually less than a year, maybe a year, around 8, 9 months later, oh yes, it's working. Suddenly, you feel pains in your body, whether it's in your stomach or at your heart, or you have a lot of headaches. Suddenly, you have physical symptoms. And so you have all those physical symptoms, and you think, why do I have these symptoms? It doesn't add up to you, and really it doesn't. You go to the doctor, and the hospital, they make scans. They don't see anything wrong with your body, but you still have those symptoms. So then the doctor may tell you, sir or ma'am, you have psychosomatic symptoms, which means that you have symptoms that cause your body to malfunction, but there's no actual disease in the body that causes it. So they tell you have psychological issues. You go to a psychologist or psychiatrist. But what you don't know is that psychologist also has a demon. And the demon inside a psychiatrist or psychologist is working with a vagabond spirit. So now the psychiatrist will also suggest things onto you that actually are not going on. So the brainwash continues while you think you're getting therapy. You get me? And then, before you know it, you're so stressed out, you just can't function at work anymore. And then suddenly you lose appetite for food, appetite for social activities, and you begin to isolate from other people unaware. And you end up isolated, you could begin to feel lonely, and before you know it, you either begin to drink or use drugs, or you begin to watch movies a lot, so you develop addictions. And you're not even aware you're developing addictions. And while this is going on, other people around you notice that the things are getting worse with you. You don't notice it yourself, but other people do. And other people notice things are getting worse with you. And before you know it, you actually lose your job, either by being fired because you don't perform well, or because the demon is causing some financial distress at the workplace that some people have to be fired. You're one of them. Or you end up having people complaining about you. And because so many people complain about you, and people get fed up with you, the landlord tells you, I'm sorry, there's so many complaints about you, you have to leave. And that's how you end up homeless. That's how the vagabond spirit operates. But maybe you don't get homeless directly, but you end up not feeling at home in your own house. You don't feel at home in your own marriage. So then you begin to think, you know what? Maybe I married the wrong woman, maybe I married the wrong man. Such things also happen. Now, that is when a vagabond spirit begs the demonic principalities to have their way with you. And that happens often when you're succeeding in life. And the vagabond spirit is so upset that you're succeeding that the vagabond spirit wants to intervene. Now, there are also times when people, angry, bitter people, go to witch doctors and they send vagabond spirits on you. That also happens. Now, there is this thing called real estate witchcraft. Yes, it exists. You have real estate witchcraft, and that's witchcraft, or you have real estate black magic. When men are doing it, when women do it, it's witchcraft. When men doing it, it's black magic. You have this real estate witchcraft and real estate black magic, in which they put a hex or a spell. It can be a spell, it can be a hex. Or they do both. A spell is just a psychological suggestion that you do to other people, and a hex, a hex can literally be a ritual done involving animal blood or human blood through incantations. So they do a spell or a hex on the house or the building where you live, or they can do it on the building where you go to work, or if you have your own business, they will do it on the building where your business is residing. So it's witchcraft or black magic that's done on a building. So in real estate witchcraft, they may put a hex on your house. So they're doing their rituals behind the scenes, their pentacle rituals. They may be killing dogs or cats or torture animals for it. Yes, they torture animals in those rituals also. And they are transferring through their rituals a negative climate onto the house where you live. And before you know it, you just don't feel at home in your own house. You don't know why you don't feel at home in your own house. You're thinking to yourself, how can it be? This is my house. Well, let's see. Yeah, this is good. You think to yourself, how can it be? This is my house. I've been living here for years. Or this is the farm of my grandparents. Or maybe it's you're going to work every day. You check in every day at work. Everything's going fine. Suddenly you just don't feel at home over there. Suddenly other people that are around the property also feel kind of harassed or intimidated. Because the vagabond spirit comes with other vagabond spirits and they occupy the environment of the house. And as a result, you don't feel comfortable over there, so you often spend time elsewhere. And by you spending time elsewhere, you become estranged from your own dwelling place. Hold on. Yes. And by you getting estranged from your own dwelling place, you end up spending time elsewhere. And that will lead to negative patterns of behaviors. That will lead to people getting kind of suspicious of you, thinking, why is this guy often away from home like that? Why isn't he at home? Why is she always outside? And before you know it, you are a restless being. And because you become a restless being, because you're restless all the time, you end up in very bad situations that you shouldn't have been in. And because of this, now you become the target of predators, because predators keep noticing you. So that's what the vagabond spirit does. Okay. Oh, did someone give a super chat? Oh, I didn't even notice it. Suzanne, thank you for the super chat. I didn't notice it because I was chopping vegetables. Let's see if it's warm enough. Okay. So this gets warm. This is an electronic stove, by the way. I don't want to use gas stoves because I don't trust that. So this is an electronic stove. And hold on. These are the vegetables. About to chop the tomatoes very soon. Or tomatoes. I spare tomatoes for other dishes. But okay. So that's the thing. The vagabond spirit can either be a begging demon hiding behind other demonic operations already going on around you, or it can be an entity sent to you by bitter people through witch doctors. And sometimes you have witches who are experiencing witchcraft doing it themselves. So if you ever feel like you can't be at peace at home, in your own house, something's wrong. Now listen, if you're the type of guy or type of woman who likes to go out, you like to go to parties, or you like to go to social events, or you like to go hiking, or just being out there swimming, all that, that's fine. And if that's you, then that's you. Then if you stay at home too much, think, man, I'm missing out on life. Because you're an outgoing individual. If you're an outgoing individual, that's fine. But beware, the moment you get sick with the idea of staying at home for a moment, that's not natural, that's abnormal. So that's one pattern that you need to look out for. The moment you get sick and disgusted with the idea of staying in your own house, now you know, okay, this ain't right. Really, it ain't right. So you need to pay attention to that. Hold on. So that's one pattern. There's another pattern you look out for. When people suddenly, yes, it's working. You can see. Praise the Lord. When people are noticing about you that you're often daydreaming, or you're often tired, or you're often exhausted, that can be another pattern. Now, why is that a pattern? Because when you have this vagabond spirit operating around you, most of the time you're not aware of it yourself. You're not. It's other people that will notice that something's up. So pay attention to people's responses. And again, another pattern is when people begin to suggest a lot of bad stuff onto you. That's another red flag. Now, those people are not aware it's a demon using them. Now, that doesn't change that they are being used, okay? So if people say weird things to you and they can't remember the weird things they've said to you, that's another pattern. And that's why it's important to choose your company wisely. All right. It's very important to choose your company wisely. Because if you have people around you, that are not looking at the bigger picture in life, now those are the candidates that the Vagabond spirit loves to use. Okay, the Cubans call it the Waka Waka spirit. That can be true. Every culture has its way how they call it. In Papiamentu, my native language, you call it Spiritu di Kaya. That means spirit of the streets, they call it. I'm sure in American English or any other type of culture, they have other names for it. So, hold on. That is good. Let us go like this for a while. It's good. So, those are the ways you notice that the Vagabond spirit is active. Yes, they call it spirits of the streets, Spiritu di Kaya. Now, and a lot of people out there have this Vagabond spirit on them. That's why you always see them in the streets hanging around. And in black ghettos in the United States, not only black ghettos, okay, but black ghettos are often neglected a lot. White ghettos or Asian ghettos tend to be maintained a little bit by the government, but black ghettos are just left on their own devices. So in black ghettos in the United States, you can see this a lot. You see this dude, 50 years old, roaming the streets, always walking around smoking weed, or you can see him just wandering around. And you're thinking, what's wrong with this guy? Or maybe this is a woman. She's always outside. And this is a very tricky one, because you also have, it's not only related in ghettos, Sometimes you go into the city center or to the mall and you see those attractive women with makeup on, with high heels, short skirts, dressed in a very sexy way, walking around. But they have a vagabond spirit on them. They're doing that all the time. They want sexual attention, but don't actually want the sexual activity. They keep going around soliciting sexual attention from people just to ease their loneliness. It's a vagabond spirit they have on them. And brothers in Christ, listen to what I'm saying. A woman like that, who has a vagabond spirit, yet she goes around dressed in a very sexy and pleasant way, beware of her. You know why? Because this is a trick. The vagabond spirit is using her to trick other men into ruin. For example, you may often see those women walking outside with very sad and angry faces in the public. So you think, what's going on with her? Let me ask how she is. So you do the gentleman thing, ask how she is, and then you give her a little therapy session, and afterwards she feels better. Okay, if that happens once or twice, it's fine. But when you see women week after week, month after month, walking around with angry or sad faces, I'm telling you, they have a vagabond spirit. But you may say, Rashid, they're not homeless. No, they're not homeless. They may have jobs, or they may be married, or living with their boyfriends, or they may be living with their parents, but they have a vagabond spirit. Those women are not willing to face issues in life. Hold on. And because they're not willing to face issues in life, they have this exhaustion mentally, and the vagabond spirit is taking advantage of that. You get me? So, in this case, the vagabond spirit is using her refusal to face life to trick male attention. And often it goes like this. Okay, hold on. Let me put this. I put it on. It goes like this. Hold on. The vagabond spirit is using her walking around in a sexually provoking or very attention-whoring way. And all the men that give attention to her to check out on her, because when you see a woman in distress, you tend to ask how are you, all that is fine. But that's how the vagabond spirit hooks you to make this woman a priority in your life. Sometimes it goes so far that a sexual relationship develops. And here's the trap. During that sexual relationship, the demon will use her mental exhaustion to drain you. And before you know it, you're the one ending up losing your job, losing your finances, ending up homeless in the streets, or you're the one ending up addicted to drugs, or you're the one ending up losing your mind, ending up in the mental asylum, and then she just walks away, and the demon uses her to do this to the next victim. And sometimes, ladies, you will encounter other women like that also. So you may think I'm doing the right thing as a female believer by reaching out to her and ministering onto her, and then you end up being the one in trouble. So beware of that. It's not only in sexual contact, it can also be in emotional involvement. So ladies, if you know another woman who's like this, never facing issues, also going around with a sad or angry face around, beware. She has a vagabond spirit working through her. And just like the vagabond spirit loves to drain men, the vagabond spirit wants to kill women. Yes, because the vagabond spirit hates females. The vagabond spirit hates females with a passion. Okay? So if that vagabond spirit uses a female and there are other women around, the vagabond spirit will use that one woman to kill other women. So it can't be that you have this female friend of yours or this female relative that you're ministering onto, and before you know it, you're the one depressed, or you're the one end up in hospital, and she just goes around seeking attention from other people. So beware. It's not only women that those vagabond spirits use, also use men. You may have this male relative of yours, okay? And this male relative, man, he's not causing trouble, he's not in fights and all of that, but he's just not doing anything in life. And he loves to come around to your house. And before you know it, he's almost at your house every day. Not a big problem because he never causes any trouble. He helps you with washing dishes, with chores in the house. So you think, oh, it doesn't matter, he's often here. He's a good friend, or he's one of my relatives, is good. but that guy, he brings contention with him. He's not a contention individual, but he carries contention. So now your house is polluted with contention. Hold on. Now, your house is afflicted with contention, because contention haunts that guy, but the guy himself is not harmed by the contention. You are. Don't association with him. Not all men are possessed or oppressed by demons act effeminate. So you can have a man that's very manly in how he operates, but he has an evil spirit. Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's why it is smart to pay attention who you're dealing with. So let me put this away. It's very important. Look, I'm not saying that you should avoid every unbeliever. Absolutely not. There are also believers who are not renewed in their mind. So you cannot avoid everyone that's not renewed in their mind. That's not practical. But pay attention. If people have issues that have lost more than months, and the individuals are still not facing or not realizing the issues, now there are candidates that vagabond spirits can use. Mm-hmm. All right. By the way, cooking is almost done. The rice is done already. So I'm just turning this for a little bit. Then I'm going to eat dinner. But for now, I want you to ask some questions related to this topic. Because I'm sure some of you encountered this demon before. That's one of the most undetected demons ever. So ask your questions related to this topic. Hold on. Yes, we put this here. Yeah. So yeah, we cannot control avoid everyone. Yes, just like you by saying over here. Let me highlight that. We cannot avoid everyone, but it is wise to operate at a safe distance until you have tested the spirit. That's true. Now, I already told you indirectly how to get rid of it. How to get rid of a vagabond spirit. It's very simple. Take some time off. Because the vagabond spirit most of the time enters into your life when you're busy. When you're busy and occupied with activities, you don't know what's going on around you. So take some time off. That's the first thing you do. It may sound very simple, but that's how they take some time off. And when you've taken some time off, you'll begin to notice. You'll begin to notice oddities. Let's say you realize that you've been out of your house quite often lately. You can think, okay, why am I so often out of the house? Is it for work, or is it to visit someone? Or if it's to visit other people, why aren't those people ever visiting me? So once you notice that, you can think, aha, hold on a minute. Okay, so the vagabond demon wants to get in. Okay, so then you decide, I won't stay at home much more. You begin to do activities from home. So you take action contrary to the pattern that's unfolding. Ruth, thank you very much for your super chat donation. Very much appreciated. Okay. All right. So, okay, that's good. So that's what you do. And another, if you notice a vagabond spirit operating in someone else, just hint to them that you notice something's off. Don't tell them you have a vagabond spirit. No, no, no. Once you detect a vagabond spirit operating someone else, just suggest on to them, why don't you stay at home a little bit more? Or why don't you just take it more easy? The number one open door that a lot of people have for vagabond spirits is being occupied with activity. That's why this whole 9 to 5 working, I don't endorse it. Because most of the people that end up working 9 to 5, they end up losing sight about what's going on. You are swallowed into the work. Now you can work. I'm not saying something with work, but if you're swallowed by the demands of work, that's dangerous. So a lot of people have a 9 to 5. They're tired at the end of the day, so they are not even aware when vagabond spirits come in. So yes, the vagabond spirit can cause depression. But look at this, the vagabond spirit causes dysfunction around you, and dysfunction will harm you mentally and socially. Okay? So the vagabond spirit can cause all kinds of stuff to go wrong in your life. The key is the vagabond spirit enters when you're busy, when you're occupied. I mean, I should have said it earlier. The vagabond spirit enters in when you're occupied. So don't be busy. Be active or don't be busy. A lot of people are busy with work or busy with family, busy with this. Don't be busy. Be active. There's a difference. When you're busy, you're completely swallowed to an activity. When you're active, you're just into an activity. Be into activity, so be swallowed up by them. Okay? Because once you're busy, you lose sight of what's around you, and that's what the vagabond spirit needs in order to take you over. So if someone did real estate witchcraft on your house or your farm or at the place where you live or work, you will notice that people around there are often very avoidant of the place. Or you notice that people often go there often get very tired. So when you feel sudden tiredness overcoming you over and over again, that in your own house, there's a sign that real estate witchcraft can be done on you. I'm not saying that is the case directly, but if you know the sudden tiredness that you can't explain, that can be real estate witchcraft or real estate black magic. All right. So hold on. Yes. It's done. As you can see over here. Yes. So I'm going to eat this thing right now. Can you see it? Yes, here it is. It's not that much, but it's good. Well, I live here by myself anyway, so I don't really have to make that much. Oh, but okay. And here you have the rice. That's finished. You can see it over here. The steam coming out. So look, okay, I can put this thing away. I can put it over. So understand this. The vagabond spirit isn't about making you homeless directly. It's about making you restless and unable to function properly. Function for whom? The Heavenly Father. Society tricks you to be vulnerable to vagabond spirits. That's what society does. Okay? And that's why I want believers to become economically relevant. Hold on. This. That's why I want believers to become economically relevant so that we don't have to put up with the economic demands of society. I'm going to put it all in. Good. All right. So, can you see me? So, sudden tiredness is a sign that real estate witchcraft may be going on. Okay. These are desperados. Okay. Sorry for them. I'm from Latin America and I have a Latin ancestor, so I enjoy Latin beverages. I mean, Hispanic beverages. That's good. Look, it's very easy to get rid of vagabond spirits. Take extra time to take your rest and stop being busy. Don't be occupied by work or any activity. Take your rest. And don't develop a pattern of working. If you always rest on Tuesday and you do your good times Tuesday, do it on another day. Don't develop patterns to become predictable and take your rest. That's what you do. Okay, let me see. Okay. Indeed, Ruth's telling the truth. That's why I want you all to be economically relevant. Okay? Okay, see, there's no other questions anymore. Look, maybe I'll make another live stream later tonight or else tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And please uproot vagabond spirits from around you as soon as possible. Well, keep agreeing with Christ, be at peace, and I'll see you next time. All right?